What's up, Wildcat Nation? Steve Leslie, YSNLive.com, your home of Struthers Wildcat basketball all season long. And what a season it's been. Coach's Corner, sponsored by WRS Insurance Solutions, a great sponsor of high school basketball all season long for us at YSN. Cannot thank them enough. Glad to be joined by the head coach, Mike Wernicki. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's so good on March 10th, to still be doing this.
That's right. March 10th, still doing this. Coach, I guess let's lead in there. District championship for this group. Talk about that a little bit. How special is that?
You know, the district championship is special unto itself, with the fact that I think there's only been maybe 4 others or 5 others in the history of the school. And that's it's a tremendous honor to be in that group of teams at Struthers High School. But the way that we won it, the way the game played out, the quality opponent that we played against, that really took it to another level. I mean, it was just an unbelievable day on Saturday.
Yeah, it was an unbelievable day. We'll get into some of that, Coach. I guess the first thing for me, I talked to you, I think it was the day before the Chardon game. We had talked, talented team. You knew there were going to be a handful. You play a good Canton South team in the semis. Here's what struck me the first. Number one, the atmosphere was fantastic. It was nice to see people in the stands. I guess before we get into the game, how nice was that for you and your kids and staff to see people supporting this basketball team?
Oh, it was tremendous. I mean, the reality of it is it's not that we haven't had the support. It's just, there's a lot of fresh faces that got their first experience with this group. Some on Thursday, and everybody that was there Thursday came back Saturday, and everybody that was there Saturday, was just like, the people that hadn't seen us all year are like, man, this team is so much fun to watch. So, they were engaged in the games on Thursday night and Saturday afternoon, and it just made a huge difference. I mean, it really felt like it's the first, I don't want to say the first, but it kind of had a feel of some normalcy. It would have been like that all year, to be honest with you. But it was a special environment for a special day.
Yeah, it was a special day. I guess let's jump into the special day. Chardon comes to town. 2 awesome scores that I was able to call with DJ against Canfield, and they had great nights that night.
Yep.
That basketball game, Coach, unbelievable. The talent, the shots made, both teams getting after one another, battling adversity. Take us through some of those ebbs and flows and swings of a great, maybe one of the best district championship games I've ever seen.
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. I mean, there were so many changes throughout that game, ups and downs. I mean, we knew we had to stop Toth and Sulka, and I told everybody that would listen. I said, you've never seen 2 high school basketball players like this, as far as the physicality, combined with the ability to play inside and outside, combined with the ability to kind of dictate their own tempo, and the ability to score the basketball. I mean, they're just a nightmare as far as matchups. I mean, at 6'5", 210, you're limited to the guards that can play them, and none of the bigger guys can stay with them. It's just, and they were just relentless. I mean, those kids never stopped playing. And but I mean, from the beginning of the game, it was up and down. They were scoring, we were scoring. We got down 14 in the first half, and battled back and cut it to 7 going into halftime. With we had already started to accumulate some foul trouble. I wasn't sure what the second half was going to look like. I was upset with our rebounding a little bit, and our carelessness with the ball, and I felt like they had us on our heels. We came out in the second half, and Aiden Slocum really got us going. I think we caught him at 60-ish, maybe 61, because I think it was 49-42 at the half. We were able to catch him right around the 60 mark, and then it was just an up and back game the rest of the way. And Aiden had himself a pretty huge night going up until 3 minutes to go in regulation, when he fouled out with 31 points. But he wasn't the first one to foul out. Ronnie Leonard had fouled out prior to that, and then Sal Schaefer had fouled out. So, Aiden was third guy, and I just kept saying, what's our answer going to be? What's our answer going to be? And we just kept telling the kids, look, you're going to win. You're going to win. We just got to figure it out. And We got back to square, and then we pushed it ahead, and they battled back, I thought there was a play at the end of regulation where, Brandon Washington could have been at the foul line to maybe win it, and it didn't go that way. And then we get into overtime, and, it was back and forth, and we jumped out ahead again, and then Barker fouled out.
Yeah.
And, prior to that, he fouled out in double overtime, but in overtime, I made the decision, and it was gut wrenching at the time. So we were up 3 with about 8 seconds to go, and we were at the foul line, and I said to Barker, I said, if he makes this, and we get up 3, I want you to foul. And I didn't want him to get a 3. I didn't want him to get a 3 up. So we ended up fouling. We had him right where we wanted him with about 2 seconds to go. We're up 3, and they're at the foul line shooting 1-on-1, and he missed the first one, which is what we wanted. Unfortunately, we didn't get the rebound, and their kid slid to the corner, and the ball got tipped out or thrown out to him, and he hits a 3 at the buzzer to send it to double overtime. And that was where I think this group really showed their mettle. Anybody that follows sports or basketball, you take that punch when the game, when literally victory is stolen from your hands, and you got to play another 4 minutes. Everybody's exhausted, and we had a chance to close it out, and we didn't. And most teams are going to fold at that point. And that's where this group really stepped up and showed who they were. And we came out in the second overtime and jumped ahead, and just wouldn't let them back in. And even when Barker fouled out, everybody that played just kept battling. And finally, we were just relentless enough that we were able to extend that lead to where they couldn't catch us. And it was the capper for just an unbelievable night.
Was the capper for a district championship, an undefeated season. Washington and Metzger, everybody had their part. But I'm with you. That last overtime, the second part of double overtime, my opinion, the best basketball, the most grittiest I've seen your basketball team all year. That's a tribute. Like you said, when you get punched and knocked down and you think the game's over, that's a tough thing for high school kids to do, to hop back up and play another 5 minutes and get after it. And Coach, I thought that was one of your best 5 minutes of basketball I've seen under those circumstances, with guys fouling out, mixed match line. Again, awesome to watch Struthers High School win a district championship. Congrats to you, the kids, staff, the community. Just, I guess for me, the biggest part, Coach, is it was a district championship at Struthers High School, where as a kid, that's where I watched a lot of high school tournaments, and that had that sentimental feeling for Struthers to be a district.
No, it was a unique experience. I'll be honest with you. The experience last year was tremendous. Anybody that was at Boardman for our game with Cheney, that game was sold out, and it was just it was, what an atmosphere. But to do this at home, with that group of people behind us, it was special. This group has been on a roll. One of the things, the way the season's played, we've not played a road game since January 29th. And here we are tomorrow, March 11th. That's going to be the first time that we're going to take a shot outside of the field house since January 29th. It's amazing to think about that, but that's the way it's played out.
We're with Coach Wernicki, Coach's Corner, WRS Insurance Solutions District Championship Regional Semifinal tomorrow. Akron St. Visa, Barberton High School. We'll get into that. So, Coach, I guess you don't mind making a road trip tomorrow, March 11th. That's a good
No.
thing. Let's go Akron St. Mary. You don't have to say a lot. What I like about being around you, why I spend covering Struthers basketball, being a part of Struthers High School, you know how good they are. There's no doubt in my mind, but off air, you and I talked. If you want to be the best, you have to play and beat the best. How important is that for your kids to get this opportunity against, let's be honest, probably the state perennial name in Ohio?
No question. We've been this thing has been set in motion for a while now. A lot of people don't know. We scrimmaged St. Vincent-St. Mary's in the beginning of November. I scheduled this scrimmage with the notion that this might come to fruition, and I wanted my kids to at least have a sense of who they were. Maybe take a little of the shine off, in this environment. And, whether that helps or not, I don't know. But there is a familiarity now between us and them. And I mean, the program needs no introduction. I mean, it's a long-standing tradition of basketball excellence. They're well coached, and they've got players and size and athletes at every position. And that's, but, we're pretty good too. And, we're not going into this game with any other sentiment other than, we're going to win. I've been telling the guys all week, like, I don't fear losing this game. The only thing that I fear is us not giving us not competing to the level that we're used to.
Sure.
Maybe because of who you're playing, and that can happen.
No.
And a lot of teams that have played them, they change the way they play, and we're not changing the way we play. We are who we are, and we're either gonna flourish tomorrow that way, or we're gonna go down that way. I'm not saying we're not gonna make adjustments if we need to,
right.
But we're not going up there with any other sentiment that we're going to play our brand of basketball, and we're going to compete as hard as we can compete, and we're going to do everything we can do to come out of there with a victory.
Well, I know this basketball team. I know you. I know your community. Wildcat fans, they will be ready to play. No doubt in my mind. The game will be streamed on YouTube. Wildcat fans by Barberton High School. That's where I will be tuned in. All of us at YSN will be tuned into that. I guess if there's I don't want to say down because that's a bad word. A regional semifinal. Obviously, Cheney's in another bracket. Let's be honest. Normal circumstances, Coach, this place would be electric.
Oh, no question.
150 tickets for each school. Tough times. Tickets wanted everywhere. How crazy has this week been for you? We talked a little bit. There's a lot of hectic things going on other than getting prepared to play Akron St. Vincent-St. Mary.
You have to, and for me, the challenge has been to find the balance between letting the kids enjoy the accomplishment, but not losing focus on, like, we're not done. Like, the district wasn't the end of the season. It wasn't the capper. And, there's a balance that you have to kind of, like, for them, this is familiar territory. This is every year,
right?
For this group, it's not, you're the runner up the year before, and we've had a special year. We had to compete so hard to finally, put it over the top to win the district. And human nature says, you're going to have a letdown. Feel good about yourself. And that's not a negative. But, we have to be able to prioritize our time when we're together and say, okay, during school, during the other time, that's fine. You can kind of let loose a little bit. But now that we're together, we've got to focus on the details to prepare to win on Thursday. So that's been the balance for me. As I kind of sit there and watch everything spin around me, and try to keep my head and try to keep everybody focused on what's coming up on Thursday. But again, I don't want to seem callous to the fact that, these guys have had a tremendous season, and they've accomplished some unbelievable things. And I don't want that to be lost, but I want them to be ready to play Thursday.
Well, there's no doubt. We're with Coach Wernicki, Coach's Corner, Struthers Wildcats Hoops. Regional semifinal tomorrow night, 5:30. You can catch it on YouTube on the Barberton station. Regional semifinal, Coach. There's no doubt in my mind that the group of players and your staff will be ready to play. For Wildcat fans, give everybody a little scouting report on Akron St. Vincent.
Well, they're big, they're athletic, and they've got a little bit of everything. They can shoot the ball. They can go to the post. And, the biggest thing that they can do, which we haven't played a team that can really do it. This is the first team we've played that can really pressure you in the full court,
right?
Get into us and make everything difficult, whether we're entering the ball or we're trying to get the ball up the floor. They're going to make, your second and third and fourth guys have to play well to beat them. They've got a kid going to Ohio State. They've got a kid that's already committed to Cleveland State. They've got another kid, I think, that's going to Akron, maybe. I mean, they're loaded with Division I kids. So, I mean, we definitely have our hands full. I mean, and they're well coached. I I mean, you don't win as many games consistently as they do with just talent. I mean, they're well coached. They have a plan for how they're going to play. They're not complicated, but they're very good. And they're the teams that they play are a little bit different than teams we play.
Right.
I mean, they played some national teams. On a normal year, they'd be traveling around a little bit more to some traditional powers throughout the country. But we'll be ready. It's really going to come down to, for us, three things. Can we rebound the basketball? Can we take care of the basketball? We can turn it over, but we can't turn it over to where that leads to runouts for them.
Right.
And can we run our stuff and do what we need to do? Like, poise is going to be a big part of this game, because we're just going to see pressure that we haven't seen this year. If we keep our poise, then we'll be fine. If we can rebound the ball, we'll be fine. And I mean, there's no secret. If we don't rebound the ball, we turn it over, it's going to be a long night for us.
Right. Well, Wildcat fans, I'm excited. I know everybody. From all of us at YSN, it's been an opportunity to cover this basketball team all season long. We're so proud to be a home of Struthers Athletics, especially your basketball team. I wish you, your staff, the kids, nothing but the best. Coach, all I can say is I love what you do. I love the theory and the way you're going in. Play Struthers basketball, and I think it's going to open a lot of people's eyes in Northeastern Ohio how good your basketball team is. So from DJ Oakley to Brian Scott to myself, all of us at YSN, best of luck to you and the Cats tomorrow night in the regional semifinal.
Well, I just, again, I'm remiss if I wouldn't thank you guys for everything you've done. I mean, I don't anticipate this being the last time we speak.
We're going to, there's no doubt.
But I, from the bottom of my heart, I mean, it means a lot. You've covered my players. Obviously, you've given me an opportunity to talk about them in our program, and that means a lot. I mean, you guys have really helped this area through a very difficult time with everything you guys have done. You guys are the best, and I really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you, Coach. Go have fun. We'll have it. That'll be it. I will talk again with Coach hopefully Friday night after a big victory tomorrow night against St. V's. Have fun, play hard, safe travels, and we'll talk Friday.
Thanks, Steve. I'll talk to you.
All righty. Bye-bye.